Good morning, class. How are you guys today?
Good.
Did y'all have a good night last night?
Probably.
Okay. Well, do y'all remember how we talked about upper and lowercase letters yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna write a few on here, and you're gonna raise your hand, and I'm gonna ask you if it's a lowercase or uppercase and what letter it is. Okay. So raise your hand. Don't shout. Okay. So, Autumn, is it upper or lower? Can you come write the lower beside it? Here, let's use a different marker for lower. Try that one for lower. There you go. Very good, Autumn. So that's our upper V and a lower V. Let's see, what else can we do? Seth,
Uppercase K.
can you come write the lowercase? Very good. So that's similar, isn't it? The upper and lower, that's similar. So, I gave you the wrong color, but it's okay. So that's an uppercase K and a lowercase K. Let's try. Oh. Jamie,
A.
can you write the lowercase a for me? Right beside it. Very good. So those aren't similar like the K is it? But these are kind of similar though too, aren't they? One's just bigger than the other.
Even mine.
Yeah. Let's see. Now we can do Tyson.
F.
Good. Is that upper or lower?
Upper.
Can you come write the lower for me? Very good. That's really good. So let's review these real fast.
B.
Upper or lower?
Upper. Upper. Lower. Upper. Lower.
What letter is it?
K. A.
Upper.
Lower.
And then
Upper.
what's the letter?
A.
Okay, is that upper or lower?
Upper. Lower.
And then what letter?
F.
Good job. So let's erase that. So do y'all want to review any more, or do you want me to move on to the story?
Story.
Okay, so today, guys, we are going to read the story Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and then we're going to do a little project after we finish it, okay?
Yay.
So let's see. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. We were all sitting around the big kitchen table. It was Sunday morning, pancake morning. Mom was squeezing oranges for the juice. Henry and I were betting on how many pancakes we each could get. And Grandpa was doing a flip. Splitting the pancakes. Seconds later, something flew through the air and headed towards the kitchen ceiling and landed right on Henry. After we realized that the flying object was only a pancake, we all laughed, even Grandpa. Breakfast continued quite uneventfully. All the other pancakes landed on the pan, and all of them were eaten. Even the one that landed on Henry's head. So they even ate that one. Would y'all have ate that one that landed on your head?
No.
That night, touched off by the pancake incident at breakfast, Grandpa told us the best tall tale bedtime story he'd ever told. Across an ocean, over lots of huge bumpy mountains, across 3 hot deserts, and 1 smaller ocean, there lay the tiny town of Chew and Swallow. Yes, Tyson?
What are these colors again? Black and white?
Yes. It's got a little bit of color.
Black and yellow light.
Yep.
I mean orange.
In most ways, it was very much like any other tiny town. It had a main street lined with stores, houses with trees, and gardens around them, a schoolhouse, about 300 people, and some assorted cats and dogs. But there were no food stores in the town of Chew and Swallow. They didn't need any. The sky supplied all the food they could possibly want. The only thing that was really different about Chew and Swallow was its weather. It came 3 times a day, at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything that everyone ate came from the sky. Whatever the weather served, that was what they ate. But it never rained rain. It never snowed snow. And it never blew just the wind. It rained things like soup and juice. It snowed mashed potatoes and green peas. And sometimes the wind blew in storms of hamburgers. Would y'all like to play in snow if it was peas and mashed potatoes?
No. I will not eat that snow.
You wouldn't eat that snow? The people could watch the weather report on television in the morning, and they would even hear a prediction for the next day's food. When the townspeople went outside, they carried their plates, cups, glasses, forks, spoons, knives, and napkins with them. That way, they would always be prepared for any kind of weather. If there were leftovers, and there usually were, the people took them home and put them in the refrigerators in case they got hungry between meals. So they didn't get a snack on meals, did they? They didn't have like cookies and all that to snack on. They just have to snack on what's left over from the other meals.
Oh, man.
The menu varied. By the time they woke up, it was morning. Breakfast was coming down. After a brief shower of orange juice, low clouds of sunny-side-up eggs moved in, followed by pieces of toast. Butter and jelly sprinkled down from the toast, and most of the time it rained milk afterwards. For lunch one day, frankfurters, already in their rolls, blew from the northwest at about 5 miles an hour. There were mustard clouds nearby. Then the wind shifted to the east and brought in baked beans, a drizzle of soda to finish off the meal. Can anybody tell me, raise your hand, what's different about this restaurant? Tyson?
There's no, ceiling.
There's no ceiling. So do you think this place would have servers?
No.
No. So what serves the food?
The sky.
The sky. That's crazy. Would y'all want to eat at a restaurant like that?
No.
Dinner one night consisted of lamb chops, becoming heavy at times with occasional ketchup. Periods of peas and baked potatoes were followed by a gradual clearing, with a wonderful jello sitting in the west. The sanitation department of Chew and Swallow had a rather unusual job for sanitation department. It had to remove the food that fell out on the houses and the sidewalks and the lawns. The workers cleaned things up after every meal and fed all the dogs and cats. Then they emptied some of it into the surrounding oceans for the fish and the turtles and the whales to eat. The rest of the food was put back into the earth so that the soil would be richer for the people's flower gardens.
Oh,
So they feed our fish different than we feed our fish and stuff, don't they?
dogs and cats.
Life for the townspeople was delicious until the weather took a turn for the worst. Spaghetti ties uptown. One day, there was nothing but gorgonzola cheese all day long. The next day, there was only broccoli, all overcooked. And the next day, there were Brussels sprouts and peanut butter with mayonnaise. Another day, there was a pea soup fog. No one could see where they were going and could barely find the rest of the meal that got stuck in the fog. Look, you can barely see him. So you know how we have fog from the clouds? They have pea fog. That's not good, is it?
I would.
The food was getting larger and larger, and so were the portions. The people were getting frightened. Violent storms blew up frequently. Awful things were happening. On one Tuesday, there was a hurricane of bread and rolls all day long and into the night. There were soft rolls and hard rolls, some with seeds and some without. There was white bread and rye and whole wheat toast. Most of it was larger than they had ever seen bread and rolls before. It was a terrible day. Everyone had to stay indoors. Roofs were damaged, and the sanitation department was beside itself. The mess took the workers 4 days to clean up, and the sea was full of floating rolls. To help out, the people piled up as much bread as they could in their bathroom or in their backyard. The birds picked at it a bit, but it just stayed there and got salter and salter. There was a storm of pancakes one morning and a downpour of maple syrup that nearly flooded the town. A huge pancake covered the school. No one could get it off because of the weight, so they had to close the school. Would y'all want to be closed because a pancake was on y'all school?
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
You would, Tyson?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of snow, they closed for pancakes.
Yeah, because at big school, when it snowed, the announcement said, pack up and get out of school immediately.
Yep. Lunch one day brought 15-inch drifts of cream cheese and jelly sandwiches. Everyone ate themselves sick that day, ended with a stomachache. There was an awful salt and pepper wind accompanied by an even worse tomato tornado. People were sneezing themselves silly and running in to avoid the tomatoes. The town was a mess. There were seeds and plump everywhere.
And,
Tyson?
if you look closely, near the downside of the tornado, near it, right there, go up one. No. Actually, that house right there, you just pointed out, it looks like, the house from Up. That guy right there.
This little dude?
Nope. Up. Right there. Nope. Down. Up. Right there. Yeah.
He's standing at the door, ain't he?
He's just like.
Well, I can't go in now.
No, he's kind of like.
That's what he's doing.
He's like standing there.
Yep.
Can I do anything now?
The sanitation department gave up. The job was too big. Everyone feared for their lives. They couldn't go outside most of the time. Many houses had been badly damaged by giant meatballs. Stores were boarded up, and there was no more school for the children.
Yay.
So a decision was made to abandon the small town of Chew and Swallow, and it was a matter of survival.
The house is on fire.
The people glued together the giant piece of stale bread, sandwich style, with peanut butter, took the absolute necessities with them, and set sail on their rafts for a new land. Do you think we could sail on some bread?
No.
No.
Because one can sing.
They can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh?
It would soak up the water. After bread afloat for a week, they finally reached a small coastal town which welcomed them. The bread had held up surprisingly well enough for them to build temporary houses out of them. The children began school again, and the adults all tried to find places for themselves in the new land. The biggest change they had to make was getting used to buying food at a supermarket. They found it odd that food was kept on shelves, packaged in boxes, cans, and bottles. Meat that had to be cooked was kept in a large refrigerator. Nothing came down from the sky except rain and snow. The clouds above their heads were not made of fried eggs. No one ever got hit by a hamburger again. And nobody dared to go back to Chew and Swallow to find out what happened to it. They were all too afraid. Henry and I were awake until the very end of Grandpa's story. I remember his good night kiss. The next morning, we woke up to see the snow falling outside our window. We ran downstairs for breakfast and ate it a little faster than usual so we could go sledding with Grandpa. It's funny, but even as we were sledding down the hill, we thought we saw a giant pat of butter on top, and we could almost smell mashed potatoes. Is that butter? Or what is that, guys?
The sun.
The sun. The end. So at the end, they thought they woke up to mashed potatoes to snow instead of snow, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Tyson?
At the last second page,
Mm-hmm.
the sun actually looked like, on my view, it looks like an egg.
It does kind of look like an egg, doesn't it?
But
Like the
there's
yolk
the-
of the egg?
Yep.
It does.
Yes, it does.
So we're going to sit that there. Did y'all enjoy that book?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's get started on our project. First, I'm going to pass a few of the things we're going to need out before I explain what we're going to do, okay?
Did you guys pass some stuff out too?
I'll do it, baby, okay?
Okay.
So, here are your scissors that you will need. And then your on top of your umbrellas.
Do we get started working?
No, not yet. I
Okay.
gotta explain what to do. And then the bottom of your umbrellas. And then what we're gonna do, Miss Ashley didn't get to finish hers, so we'll eventually put it together like this. But I want you guys to take the glue sticks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want you to take the glue sticks, but it might be easier if you cut this part out first before you glue the tissue paper on. First, before you do the cut the handle or anything, I want you to cut this out, or you can wait till you put the tissue paper on. I want you to put the glue on here, and I want you to make the umbrella really pretty with the tissue paper squares. Yes, Tyson?
What is tissue paper?
What you put in presents. The stuff you take out of your present.
Oh,
That's on
that
top.
toys. The white paper.
Yep, that.
Thingy?
But this is just colored. So you guys can go ahead and get started on that. And if you need help cutting or anything else, just ask me. Yes, Tyson?
Also, about the tissue paper, can we actually blow our nose with it?
No, you cannot actually blow your nose with it, Tyson. And then after y'all get done with that, I'm going to cut some string and I'll explain what we're going to do next, okay? But if you need help, just raise your hand and I'll come, or call my name. I'm going to step over here to my desk, guys, and get some pair of scissors.
That's the first part out.
Alright, now that you're done with that, here, I'll go ahead and get the trash for you guys. You can either start cutting the tissue paper, putting the tissue paper on it, or you can, and make sure you put the names on the back of both of these.
Okay.
You can put the tissue paper on, or go ahead and start coloring that one. Cutting that one. Thank you. You need something? Okay. job, Jamie.
Are we able to use the tissue paper for? So I heard you say that we're going to use these tissue papers for the food.
No.
What?
What you're going to do is you're going to put some glue on here, and then you're going to put the tissue paper on where you stick the glue at, like Jamie's doing.
So it's not the food?
No, you're just decorating the top of the umbrella.
And why do we have to have the umbrella?
Because I'm going to explain that next.
Okay.
After y'all put the umbrellas together.
That sounds good.
So when you're done with your umbrella, raise your hand so I can give you the next part of it. Okay? Yes.
I heard Mario. I heard Mario.
So if y'all need any help, just raise your hand, okay?
Look how good I'm doing.
You're doing a very good job. Mm-hmm. So while y'all are doing that, I'm going to explain the next part of it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and give you these plain pieces of paper. You're going to draw what you would want falling out of the sky. So how in the book, food fell out of the sky, pancakes, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be food. You can say money, cars falling out of the sky, anything you want. You can draw and put. And then we're going to hang it with the yarn and the string from your umbrella. Yes, Tyson.
Why would there be, you said cards, did you say cards?
I says cars, like a car you drive.
Why would you let that fall out the sky?
I don't know, why would you want food to fall out of the sky?
I don't know, because the sky doesn't like food.
Good.
Wait! That isn't, wait, are these yours? Oh, yeah.
I have some more purple on if you need some.
Okay.
I have some more purple.
Is this the first day of class? No.
You need some more purple, Autumn?
No.
Huh?
No.
Alright, well I have some extra colors right here if y'all need them.
Okay. Here's some more right here. Come on.
Put a little bit more on it. I don't want to see no white. Or you can see a little bit of white, but Steph's doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
You need to do it on top of each other.
Mm-hmm. So you make sure you cover the white, yeah. Can you ever get that?
That's what I'm doing to get all the white out.
You're doing a good job, baby.
Look at me.
What?
Look at my thing.
You're doing a good job. I like it.
Look how good I'm doing.
You're doing a great job. good, Tyson.
Thank you.
And if you want to use tape, you put the handle on. I have some tape, or you can use your glue. Yes, Tyson.
I want to use tape. Some of the umbrellas are kind of decorated, and I tried to do mine with yours.
That's fine. If you want to leave it just like that, you can.
Can I use tape?
No, to put the handle on, you gotta use glue to put this on, or it won't stick. The tape won't help that stick.
Wow.
Or is it just one?
Yeah, tape is
No,
kind of sticky.
so if you use tape to put this on, so we're gonna cut that out and flip it over and tape that on. The tissue paper will hold better was
Yeah, I was thinking that we were gonna put it on the
Mm-hmm. So Tyson, do you want to use tape for that, or do you want to use glue? Got some tape.
tape.
Are you making yours purple and red, Jamie?
Yeah. I'm done.
Good. So here, let's flip yours over.
I want to have my next part.
It's okay. Let's flip yours over.
I want to use tape.
Just flip that over. And then tape on the back of here. Here, will you put one more piece on? Good job. And so then I'm going to sit this over here for you. Thank you, bottom. And then you're going to draw what you want running from the sky. Draw 4 different objects. Or if you want all the same stuff, draw from the sky. No, don't actually draw it. Like say you want pizza, draw a pizza. And if you want money, draw a dollar bill or a quarter.
How do you
'Cause
draw
we're
a
gonna-
dollar bill? Or a dime?
Or a dime, because we're going to cut that out and then it's going to be hanging from your thing. You got what I'm saying? So we're going to take this yarn and we're going to hang it from it. So you're going to have to draw 4 things, okay? Oh, shoot, let me put this out. Is this both of y'all's lids, or is this that one that went to that one?
It's the one that didn't work. I don't know.
Okay. You done, Tyson? With your umbrella? Alright, so do what I told Autumn. You're gonna draw 4 different objects, or 4 the same objects, or whatever you want to do to hang down from your,
That's why I said tape.
to hang down from your umbrella. Okay? Another piece. There you go. Good job.
What are these stuff?
Can
Is
you
your,
please write your name on that?
what is your black stuff?
It's from the ink, where you put the glue on the ink. Can you write your name on the back of that, Autumn, please?
What does a glue stick have to have ink?
It's because it was, no, baby, the ink from the printer. I just printed them, so the ink was still probably a little wet. Yes. No, that's good. That's good. Do exactly what you always do.
Okay.
You want tape to put that on? Put the thing on? Alright, so do you want some crayons to color your object?
Yeah.
Alright, well there's you some crayons, there's you some crayons. Here's you some tape. Put your hand on, you're welcome. And then there's you some
And there's my
crayons.
thing.
Alright, I'll help you put the tissue paper out. So you guys at this table are done with the tissue paper?
And now you do this.
Okay, I'm gonna take this down. Are you guys done with the tissue paper? Are you? I don't know. Are you done with the tissue paper?
Mommy,
Yes.
is there red in here? Yeah. I don't know.
Let me see.
This? This?
You're just missing a red. Jamie, can she borrow your red?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good sharing.
I don't know what's Kaden is.
Jamie.
I don't know what Kaden is. I wonder where it is.
Y'all's umbrellas look really good. Be as creative as you want.
Okay. So just use your imagination.
Imagination. Alright, I'll get you some tape because the tape holds that better. So you flip it over. There you go.
I'll tape it.
Here, let's put it up just a little bit, like right there.
I'll tape it.
Whoa, hold on. Well, this piece of tape's taping Miss Ashley's hand.
I got it.
There we go.
Dad.
Alright, Autumn, cut those pieces out.
Oh, no, this one over here does it.
Here, put it right here in the middle. So whenever,
Here?
yeah, right there. Let me hold it. There you go. Here, you need one more piece.
Ta-da!
Good job. Put one more piece on it. Just to make sure it's stuck good.
There.
Good job. So now that you're done with that, is your name on the back of it? Can you write your name on the back of it for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
How many things do we have to do on here?
Just 4.
Done.
Okay. Do you want to color them?
There.
Alright, now I'm gonna need you to draw 4 things that you would want rain from the sky, like pizza, money,
I want to
toys,
do cars.
cars. Sure, if you want cars flying out of the sky.
Or we can do Hot Wheels too.
Yeah. So
Hey
draw
Jamie, how
4.
about toy cars?
So draw 4
Actually,
things.
Can we do a Hot Wheels set and falling from the sky? A Hot Wheels city falling down the sky with Hot Wheels on it.
Alright, well first, look, you see how Autumn drew an apple and a quarter and a dollar bill?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do too.
So you need to draw objects like that, okay? You can draw a car though. If you want a car, draw a car. Okay?
And even going to draw a Hot Wheels set and all those things. All of them. There's my loopy loop.
Okay. No, just don't draw that part. Just draw the cars. Because we're not making a whole picture because we're going to cut the little objects out.
Little ones?
Yeah.
This is the thing.
So you want this falling out of the sky?
Yeah.
All right, now draw a car down here that should go on it.
There you go. On the track.
But that's going to fall out of the sky, so you need a car to separately fall out of the sky so it can fall on that.
Yeah, but who's going to fall on that? If that means I have to go up.
See what I'm saying, baby, is we're going to cut this out and we're going to hang it like this. Let me see. Have you cut one of your pieces out on them? What is this, a banana?
Yeah.
Look, Jamie.
A banana.
We're going to
Start
see.
over.
That's fine. See how this is just a banana? We're going to tape this banana on there. And then after we tape this, can I go ahead and tape it on there? So I can show him? So I'm going to put this piece of tape on here.
My failing.
Jamie?
Mhm.
And then Autumn's going to take this. Well, we probably should cut this straight like that. You're going to take this and we're going to tape it behind it. And that's going to be what's falling out of our sky, like that. See?
Oh.
So we just need 4 objects like this. So if you want a car, draw a car, and you can cut the car out.
Here's a Hot Wheels set on the ground. There's a Hot Wheels set on the ground. just spell Hot Wheels?
H-O-T.
H.
Just put hot. We'll know what it means. Yeah, because you don't have enough room to finish it. It's okay, baby. Just put that because you don't got no more room to write it.
E. O.
You got your
Hot
projects?
Wheels.
You want to color them?
No, wait, no, that's an A.
You want more color?
Hot Wheels.
All right, we'll cut them out.
I did a Hot Wheels.
Good job.
Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels. You did Hot Wheels. I'm done.
Good job. All right, Autumn. Let's get you started then. So you throw up these things.
I did a Hot Wheels. And now, how did I get it?
Oh, is it Autumn? Or Jamie got it? All right, so now here's your banana. So
Green.
now we need to take on.
A leprechaun. There's already a leprechaun on your page.
Okay.
What?
Now we need to take on.
I got a bill.
George.
Oh, Daddy. Bill.
So now we need to take this on. So there's your 25 cents.
Did I draw mine too small?
They're perfectly good.
I did one more. And it goes two cars falling out of the sky. Hot.
Now we're just gonna get the dollar bill, and then you can take them on, okay?
L. S. There you go. Hot Wheel.
All right, so now you just take it and you see how I flip it over, and just take them on the back.
What? Oh, wait, those.
Is that one too long? You want me to cut it some? Where you want me to cut it? Right there? There we
Actually, I might have to start over on this side.
go. Okay.
Okay, so I'm not going to do the hollow set, but I'm just going to do cars.
Yes, that's a good idea.
It's a good thing they're toys.
Yeah, good thing. Here's your another piece.
Now these ones are just normal cars.
All right, that's fine. If that's what you want for out of your sky.
Oh wait, he's in there.
Let's see if it'll just flip over. Yeah, I think it'll
Oh, for a balloon. I think I accidentally cut it
You're supposed to cut it.
a little too much.
What you mean? That's fine.
It broke off.
Oh.
My umbrella. My poor umbrella.
Oh, well, can you use that for something else? Like use that you just put for a different thing? Like, can it be something else? Let me see.
Like a wood hook.
It could be a hook. Yeah.
There,
Still
I'm
a wood
done.
hook. So see everybody, here's Autumn. She did a good job, didn't she?
Well, it is. Well, this is a live broken.
That's very good, Autumn. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get you to start the next thing, okay? So let's put this right here. So you know how you said you have bananas, a quarter, an apple, and $1. What is that? $1 bill. You're gonna write a little story to put on why these are falling out of the sky. So you know how he dreamed it, or they were telling him a bedtime story. You can act like it's a bedtime story. You can act like it's a dream, or just write a story about what's falling out of your umbrella. Okay. And there's 2 pieces of paper right there. You ready to tape it on the string? You ready to put it on the string? So use those. Here's the tape.
Man, I'm itchy.
Alright, Jamie, can you cut those 2 cards out for me?
Yeah. Where'd my Dorito go?
Your Dorito.
Dorito. Who's a Dorito? I'm a Dorito.
Jamie.
What?
No. Can you please cut these 2 cards out for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you spell quarter?
Uh-huh.
How do you spell quarter?
What you want, boy? You doing a good job. Is this a hamburger? And if you need an eraser, I can get one. I forgot to grab some, but I can get some. You want to hang yours from each other? That's creative.
Okay, so I got a hook, a Dorito, and a leaf.
You got some crazy stuff falling out your sky.
And my broken umbrella. What?
That's your hook.
I understand that, but I can't find my broken umbrella.
Oh, you gonna still hang your broken umbrella? It's right there. Broken umbrella.
Yeah, actually, it's the broken.
All right. Now cut this car out. Oh, that looks good.
They came from heaven.
Heaven.
And they just flew up garbage. Or they just flew up
Okay.
Now where's my... Here it is. I'm done.
Very good. Can you
Oh
alternate
my
with the top?
goodness.
Tyson, if you want to, instead of doing that, you just want to cut out a square so you don't cut him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good.
He'll hang better.
I'll do it.
All right, Ty. Do what you gotta do. That is very good, Autumn. All right, guys. That's still working on your umbrellas. We gotta hurry up a little bit because you still gotta write your story.
Also have to go to lunch.
Yes, we have to go.
Which one?
If you want to, you can just color on this one while you're waiting on your other friends to get done, and I'll take this.
Why do I have to go back to lunch?
We're not, baby.
Joking?
Yes. So there's that. All right, Seth. You're gonna take this. I'm gonna give you 2 just in case you need to. You're just gonna write a story about what's falling out from under your umbrella.
Is it almost time for recess?
No. It's about time to go home.
I already have recess.
So I'll leave that there just in case you need it. So this is your
I
raindrop.
already have recess.
So, yes, Tyson, we did. So just write why you have those objects falling out of the sky.
Huh?
Like, you know how he was telling a bedtime story?
Done.
You can tell a bedtime story, you can tell a dream, say you were dreaming about it, or whatever.
Some this piece of butter.
Alright, Jamie, so you need some string?
I got a string.
There's you 2 strings.
I got 3.
Hang on 1 second. 1, 2, 3.
Might need some tape.
Hang on 1 second.
I'll grab it. I'll get it.
No, hang on, Jamie.
Do you have to draw a picture?
No, because this is your picture. There's that, Tyson.
Yay.
All right, so you tape these objects to this,
Okay.
and then tape it, and then tape it to the back of that, like Autumn's. Please stop. All right, let's see, Johnny.
I want to take them.
Push it down. Put it down. Push the tape down.
This time I'm going to do it myself.
Well, hang on 1 second, please, Jamie. showing you.
So we're playing school, aren't we?
Yes, Jamie. Alright, now flip this over. Here, Jamie, look. Can you take that right there? Put the tape on that string.
Yeah.
Come on, Tyson, please. And then put this on the string. Alright, look, so you've got cars flying out of your sky. That's cool. Alright, Jimmy. So I'm gonna need you to, yes.
Can I have an eraser?
Yes, hang on 1 second, let me grab one. So if you can, I need you to write a story about why you have cars flying out of the sky. So raining out of the sky. So write a story about the cars raining out of the sky. You want Leslie erase the work? Yes, Tyson. You want to erase? Do you need help?
I don't have any tape.
You should.
See it. Is it invisible tape?
It is.
Where'd it go?
Come on, Tyson.
I need help.
Alright, so,
Oh wait. C-A-R. Cars. Car. Cars. Waiting.
I'm gonna put your Dorito.
Oh, that's the N. That's the N.
So your Dorito.
I need a big eraser.
Jamie, is that how you ask for an eraser? Say, may I please have an eraser? Oh, did I knock that down? So now what? You leave. Okay. What is that?
Mine is a
Where'd the
flower.
tape go?
It's a flower man.
The Flower Man. I ain't never heard no Flower Man.
There's this game called Cuphead, and in one of the Run and Gun games, maybe there's this flower guy that's running that.
Do you have another piece of string?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We made a
1,
gun.
2, 3, 4. So do you want to hang this up too?
Ow!
I'll get you another one if you want to.
No.
Okay. So
No.
now let's flip this over. Let's take.
Oh, I know what to do.
Yeah, got it now.
Yeah. My Doritos upside down.
Hmm.
Yay. I think I'm having too much tape. Fine.
There goes this.
Ow.
That's very good. Have you sounded out your words, Jamie?
Huh?
That's very good sounding out your words. Steph, are you gonna need this piece?
Can I use this as a wind
Okay.
chime?
Sure. After we're done. So you see how you have all these objects flying out of the sky?
Yeah.
Write a little story that goes along with what's flying out of your sky. So tell me why you got a flower man flying out of the sky. And your Dorito and your broken umbrella and your leaf. So write a little bit of story right there.
Oh gosh, this is going to be hard.
You're done?
Can we not write?
Very good.
I ate cars.
Okay, good job.
Fell out of
So
the sky.
Jamie, you can color this while we're waiting on your other friends. You can just color that, draw on that while we're waiting on the rest of the guys in the class. Tyson, can you start drawing, please? Write your story, please. Thank you.
Black. Where's the cross?
Good job. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of collect the glue sticks and everything. Okay. Since we don't need them.
I need a cross.
Alright, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and get your. Oh, you're using your crayons. Are you done? Very good. Okay, guys, so, yes, Tyson.
I need help.
Well, hang on 1 second, okay? So, class is coming to an end. We're about to have to get ready and pack up. So, if everybody can start putting their crayons together. And whoever did not finish their short story can finish tomorrow for morning work, okay? And then we may share them, depends on if we have time. And then tomorrow we're going to take a little 5-question little quiz about this book that we read today. And we'll review the book before we take it, okay? So we can make sure our minds are fresh for it. So if everybody can start putting their crayons and stuff up, you can just leave your pencils on your desks. And I'll take the scissors. Alright, so let's put these together. So you have 2 browns, so he needs a brown.
No, I have one. See?
Oh, alright, we'll just put that in there.
Other side first.
Here.
No, oh my way.
Here's this.
I think I have to step up.
No, I'll get it. I said leave your pencils on your desk.
And my scissors.
Yep. So I'm gonna do this. Yes, Tyson.
I think there's a ghost in the classroom.
Tyson. No, there's not.
What was that voice?
It was one of the principals coming into the room to ask me a question. But they saw I was busy, so they walked out, okay?
Okay.
So, you guys, do you want me to take these pictures home, or do you want me to hang them on the wall? Okay, I'll hang them on the wall.
Yeah.
And tomorrow when you come in, you'll see your umbrellas hung up and your short story beside them. So when people come in, like the principals and stuff, they can see all your good work, and your parents can see all your good work. So if everybody can get your book bags and go line up at the door. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a great afternoon, okay?